So everybody's been asking for a 6-year video, but life got in the way, and now I'm at 6.5. And a lot happened this last year. So some of it was sucked and it was horrible, and then there was some really good stuff to come out of it. So I think I'll start at where my last video left off. If you haven't watched it, my whole process of healing from psychiatric drugs is on my channel from the 6-month mark, and now we're at the 6.5-year mark. And looking back, it's been like the hardest thing that has ever happened to me, like worse than combat, worse than being raped, worse than any trauma I can imagine. Like, I can't even believe I'm still alive based on how hellacious my withdrawal from benzos was. The last drug that I tapered and then was cold turkeyed off by a doctor at the VA hospital. Okay, so year 5 ended, I think it was pretty good. Year 6 started horribly. My service dog, G.I. Joe, died, and it was kind of like a hospice type situation where basically in the middle of the night he threw up, he had really bad diarrhea, he was acting really off. I didn't know what was wrong with him. Took him to the vet. They said there was nothing wrong, his gut bacteria was off, something. And then a couple days later, he peed on himself, and he had never done that before. And I was like, something is wrong. And I took him back to the vet, and they diagnosed him with lymphoma, cancer. And I didn't want to believe it. And I basically drove from Texas to Missouri to go to our vet for the last 13 years with him. And he said it's all over his stomach, it's everywhere. The only thing we can do is keep him comfortable. We can give you prednisone. And like, I have my own ideas about giving dogs drugs, you know what I mean? It was like hard for me to give him anything. And then it was literally like a hospice situation. Like, he was having poop problems every 2 hours. I was letting him out constantly. He was laying in the ice and the snow, I think because it was soothing his tummy. I could see like he was having a hard time. Like, he didn't want to die. It was like the worst thing ever, man. Like, that dog saw me through all my years as a mental health patient, all my years like trying to recover from being in the war, coming home, through a divorce, when I had no friends. Like, that dog was the only thing I had, So losing him was like the worst. And it did a number on my symptoms and on my nervous system and my ability to handle stress. And then I had a bunch of discord at my employment, my part-time job, at the same exact time, and I had people screaming at me on the phone, and I'm like, my fucking dog is dying. Like, I cannot handle this. It was the worst. And then I was basically physically ill for like 2 months after he died. So basically from December until May, I was completely like obliterated. Like, it was the worst. And then I got paired with a new service dog, and I had to travel from Missouri to, Washington State. So I drove my RV all the way to Washington. I had to stay there for 5 weeks. I had to do intensive training with the dog for 6 weeks in a program with other people, 10 other veterans. We were in Walmart every single day, walking around in circles, walking with carts. I explained to them, like, look, I have a brain injury, like a severe one, and I can hardly be in a store. Because at that time, like, with all the stress from Joe dying, my ability to even, like, walk in a store, I could not. And that's really my worst symptom, and I still have it now. So I guess I should explain it more. So I have the idea, I want to go to Whole Foods, or I want to go to Trader Joe's, or I want to go to the mall and buy a new pair of jeans, or whatever the thought is, okay? I feel completely fine about it. I want to go, let's go. I feel good in my house, or I'm in a hotel right now, but in my van, I feel great. It's a great idea. Let's go. The second I walk in the door, I experience complete overstimulation. Every little thing that's moving, and the light and the LED lights or whatever they have on the ceiling, and the people talking, and the noise and the background music and the shiny floor and everything. It's too much, and my brain literally cannot process all of it at the same time. That's the only way I can explain it. It's very tied to my vision. So like any kind of motion or colors or patterns, It makes me feel dizzy, and then I get panicked and I stop breathing, and then I get more dizzy because I'm panicking, and then I have such bad anxiety I can't stop moving, which I think is akathisia kicking up. And it feels like the closest thing I can explain, and please don't be offended, I'm trying to explain this, and a couple doctors explained it to me the same way. So it's kind of like some kind of like mild situational, like autism, something like a sensory processing disorder. That's what somebody called it. I don't know. It's something with my sensory I cannot process everything at once, which is why living in a van is a good thing, because I can control my environment. I'm in nature where it's quiet all the time, and I almost like have to live like that. So around that time I lost the ability to shop for myself, to go to stores, to do anything. And thank God I was home in St. Louis, and my sister helped me out, because I literally could not go anywhere. I couldn't even, like, just sitting in the parking lot at the vet tech brought me medication out to the van, and it was like my brain could not process it. It felt like I lost consciousness for a couple seconds, and then I came back to it like, what just happened? My brain could not even process like a person walking towards me. That's how bad it was. I told my doctors, they didn't seem very concerned. I went to neuro-ophthalmology again, and the doctor there said, oh, this happens to people that do LSD. And I'm like, I didn't do LSD. I was cold turkeyed off a benzo in your hospital. And like, they don't believe a freaking thing. So there we go. Anyway, so then as the year proceeded, it got worse. In October, I had a breast cancer scare, and my breast started hurting after Joe died, and it hurt for 10 months. And I did not want to get a mammogram, because I know about the radiation, and like, they catch false positives all the time, and they just scare you. And that's exactly what happened. I went and got a mammogram. They said it looked highly suspicious and put me in like the greatest one step down from the greatest category from it being malignant. They told me to go get a biopsy. I was so terrified I could not even make the appointment for the biopsy. They told me while I was laying there naked that I need to get it surgically removed immediately. And I'm like, I need to leave. Like, I can't process what you're telling me right now. And of course, it's just like the mental health system. They rush you into another room, and they try to make you make an appointment and make you make the appointment for surgery. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I just left. And then I called a breast surgeon that I know, that we met through Medicating Normal when we did the Sedona Film Festival, and she was in Sedona, Arizona. And she said, Angie, don't let them traumatize you. You come to me and I will take care of you. And I was like, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. So I drove all the way from Missouri to Arizona to let her take care of me. I did the biopsy. It came back atypical ductal hyperplasia. So it's basically like pre-cancer. And she wanted to cut it out. She said it was no hurry, but I had to weigh the risks versus the benefits, like me going under anesthesia with a severe brain injury and not able to like walk in a store. How the hell would I handle a breast like surgery? Like, it ain't happening. And then I got really angry, thinking to myself, like, this body is not for medical gaze purposes at all times. Like, I'm just carry my body into the doctor's office and let them do to me whatever they want. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just not. So I decided against surgery. The greatest thing ever happened, though, when I went to that surgeon. Her name is Beth Dupree. She's awesome. I didn't know this, but she had this foundation called Healing Consciousness Foundation. And what happened was, 24 hours after the breast biopsy, they had injected my breast with numbing agent, carbocaine actually, and I had a rash for 45 days, and it was so severe that I was like thinking about suicide. Like, that's how bad it was. And I was scared to take any drugs for it, obviously. All the doctors I saw were complete idiots. Nobody knew what was wrong with me, of course, and they just kind of sit there and look at you like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm just so over the medical system, I can't even explain it. So I go back to her office, and she was on vacation, and I talked to her nurses, and she goes, well, how about we give you some healing certificates? And I was like, what is that? And she's like, well, we have a relationship with a bunch of healers that you can go to in Sedona, alternative healers like acupuncture, Reiki, massage, chiropractic, all these other things, and you can use those for healing, and maybe that will help with the rash. And part of me thought, is this a reaction to the drug, or is this stress related because I'm waiting on the results? Like, I didn't know what it was, but I went with it, and I went ahead and did literally $1,500 worth of healing through her organization. And I even tried to pay her back some of the money because I was like, I can't like take this gift that you're giving me, you know? And all I can tell you is basically from October to December, I was so depressed. Like, I hate using that medical language, but like, I just thought my life was over. Like, now I have breast cancer and I have to deal with that, and then I'm gonna get my breast cut off. Like, I was thinking the worst thoughts ever. And through my research and reading about breast cancer and reading about the cancer industry, like, I just blew my freaking mind. But I came across this guy named Chris Wark, something like W-A-R-K. And he's on Facebook. You can look him up. It's Chris Beat Cancer. And basically the guy had his cancer cut out. He had colon cancer. And then he ate a really clean diet. He did a bunch of alternative healing. And basically his stage 4 cancer was gone. And like never came back. And he's like 30 years without it now. So I started following like his program. I bought his cookbook. I bought his little daily book and stuff. And through his program, one of the questions is, he says, these are the key components of people that heal from cancer. And one of them is they have a will to live. And he was like, you need to ask yourself, do you even want to live? Do you want to be here? Some people have a secret death wish that they don't even want to be here. And that question, like, really took me down. Let's just say that. I really had to fight for a reason to stay here. And I thought to myself, I have a choice. Like, I could either just let this take me, whatever it is, and like never get it looked at again, and never get surgery, and just keep eating like shit when I want to, and don't exercise, and don't take care of your body, and just like, it is what it is. Or I could like fight for it a little bit and hope for the best. Or I could like fight for it a lot and like try to change the trajectory of whatever is going on in my breasts, okay? But first of all, pre-cancer is not cancer, okay? It's not. So there's that. And then there is hormonal changes going on. Like, I'm 43, I'm probably perimenopausal. They don't even really know what ADH is or where it came from. And for all I know, I dropped a weight on my breast when I was doing CrossFit 6 years ago, and it's just an old bruise. Like, they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go under anesthesia and get half my breast chopped off because you don't know. Like, I'm just not doing that. So anyway, back to that question. So basically from October to December, I thought about that question over and over and over and over, and just thought to myself, like, I am so tired of fighting for everything that I have. And like, any little shred of health that I have is because I fucking fought for it. And not because some doctor gave me a pill for it or cut half my breast off for it or whatever. Like, every little shred I have is what I have because of me and because of like nobody else. You know what I mean? And then to tell me, now you might have cancer. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and my dog just died, and I just had all this discord and lost my best friend, and just fighting in my life, and like, don't even have my parents. And I mean, come on, like, let's add up the rest of my losses that I've had throughout my life, you know? And I'm just over it. So the turning point, honest to God, was going to see Beth in Sedona. And that she treated me with respect and dignity, and she respected my wishes, and she didn't fight with me, and she literally held me like a mother, like literally had her arms around me during the biopsy. And I said, my heart is beating really fast, and she said, that's normal. I'm sorry, this is the first time I talked about it. It was traumatizing, of course, just like everything else, you know? I didn't know I was gonna cry this much, I'm sorry. This is a really long story, and I don't want to ramble, but thank you for hanging in here with me. Okay, so, I'll hurry. So anyway, I went to all these healers, and then as soon as I started going, the rash started to calm down, and I was like, this is weird. Like, I think that this is working, like something's working. And I remember the first appointment I went to with the massage lady, I was just so down. Like, I could barely walk in her office. It was so bad. And then, like, I felt something so dramatic. Like, I could feel her. It was the strangest thing ever. I did not expect this. Like, the massage lady was putting her hands on me, and I could feel her energy. And it was like her body was telling my body, like, this is how you're supposed to be. Like, this is the calm you're supposed to feel. But my body doesn't feel that. It feels different because of all the medications I was given, you know? And then it was like, I was just supposed to, like, just lay there and feel that energy. And, like, that's what you're supposed to feel like. And I was like, I don't even remember what that feels like, to be so calm like that, you know? So, I worked with her, like, 10 times, I think. I paid out of pocket and saw her more. Like, I spent a lot of money in that period of time, just trying to, like, do something that was, like, gentle and easy on my system, and just, like, to try to take care of myself for a little while, you know what I mean? And it really helped. The acupuncture really helped. What else did I do? Oh, I saw this life coach lady. No, she's not even a life coach. She was Reiki, craniosacral, and what's it called? Rebounding. What's it called? Hold on, I'm saying the wrong thing. Myofascial release. She did all three of those, and healing touch. She did all those things. And this woman, like, blew my mind. Like, to me, she was the way that therapy should be, but it's not practiced. She's like, what's going on today, Ange? Like, I'd come in her office, and then she'd say, I'd just start rambling, and then she'd be like, okay, well, what's that really about? And I'd be like, my feelings are hurt, or whatever. Okay, well, what's that about? I don't know. I'm just, like, tired of living life. Okay, lay down on the table. So then I lay down on the table, and we would do different things every day, but one of the days, my favorite day, let's just say that, was she put her hand near my heart. And she said, what do you feel there? And I was like, I feel nothing. Like, it's dead. And she's like, okay, well, we're going to sit here until you feel something. And then I started crying. And then she's like, you feel that? Just let it flow. Don't push it away. You know, and she just literally sat there with me and let me cry. And she didn't try to change my feelings or ask me to talk about it, or what's this about, or what's this coming from, or here, take a pill for that. I mean, I've been medicated before because they told me I cried too much. Like, give me a break. So, this woman just, like, was just present, and just, I felt like, she's like, Angie, these are the things that are holding you back. Like, you have to let go of this stuff, you know? It helped me so much. And again, with her, I paid out of pocket after my gift certificates ran out, and I just kept going as long as I could. And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to leave Sedona. I can't be here anymore. I was in Sedona for basically 3 months. So I left, and that was when was that? February, I think. Okay, so then what happened was I got in another argument with someone at my workplace, and I just said I quit. I'm done. I'm tired of being not treated with respect. It's time to go. And that was it. And when I made that decision, literally I was at peace with it within 30 minutes. Like, I just knew that that's what I had to do. And I talked to that lady about it, and I was like, she's like, you sound really clear. I was like, I'm going to sleep on it, but, like, I'm done. That was it. And I knew in my heart of hearts, like, this is the best decision I've ever made. And it's going to turn out that I'm going to look back on this moment and say, that's the best thing you've ever done for yourself. So I did that. And then I started coaching people on the side, like starting my own business. And I'm mostly coaching people that are in withdrawal or trying to avoid the system altogether, or a couple years off and like trying to rebuild their life, because I think that's something I've been pretty successful with. Like, despite living in hell, like, I have rebuilt a life, and it's a life worth living. I'm getting to that part, so you guys don't think I'm just a mess. But so like, despite of all the trauma I've been through and the losses, like, I'm still here. You know what I mean? So I'm not ready to like take any more clients right now because I'm pretty full. But very soon I'll have my website up in probably 2 weeks, and then I will make another video and tell you, okay, it's ready. If you want any, if someone needs that kind of support, here you go. Now, before I get a bunch of haters, I have done so much for this community free. And like, for instance, my YouTube channel, you can watch it anytime. You can see my whole process. I probably answer 99% of your questions. It's free, okay? Inner Compass Initiative, I've done a third of their episodes in that Facebook group. So you could go watch those episodes for free. All the Medicaid normal stuff was like so low, like I barely got paid anything to do all that. And most of it was volunteer. What else did I've done? World Benzo Awareness Day. I've done stuff like that. Man in America, there's stuff like that for free. So I have done more than a lot of people have done for free, and it's there, and go get it. So if you don't need me and you want to take advantage of the free stuff, do it. I'm not going to fight, like, it's there. If you feel like you need more support than what I have out there for free, and you think that I'm a good fit for you, that's a totally different story. Okay. So I'm just putting that out there. All right, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not ready to take any more right now. I'm working on getting my website up. I'm busting my butt right now to get that done, so I need to focus on that for now. So the next turning point after the Sedona experience, then I went and drove all the way to California. I went to a veterans disabled sports camp, and it was for skiing. And let me tell you, I'm terrified of skiing. I've only skied one time in my entire life, and it was 20 years ago when I was in the Army and I was in shape. So I was scared, and I actually tried to like get out of it, and I talked myself back into it and was like, just go, Angie, it's fine. And then because I was scared of the ski lift, because it was so high off the ground and my vision is so bad and my stress sensitivity is so bad, and any kind of motion throws me off and causes vertigo. I have all these like diagnoses for my vision balance problems. But I'm so glad I went, because I had a huge turning point there. And I think I might have to do like a whole video just on this, but and I'm going to be doing videos too, but on my other channel, and I'll talk about that at the end. But anyway, it's like taking forever to tell you this whole story because I've saved it all up. So long story short, I could not ski on the ski lift for the first 4 days. I only went one time. And when I went once, the worst thing ever happened. We got stuck on the top. The ski lift stopped. I had 2 people on either side. I coached them on how to help me. Like, I have to lock arms. We sit down. You guys take my poles. We put the seatbelt down, and nobody talks about my anxiety or how I'm feeling or anything. And you try to talk to me about my dog or the van or anything other than how I feel. We had this whole thing set out, and then we get stuck at the top. And I completely am losing it, and I'm panicking, and I'm like, oh my God, just hold on. And then I close my eyes, but when I closed my eyes, it took away my visual, like, proprioception to know where I am in space. So then I got dizzy, and then I felt like my head was going backwards. It was like hell on wheels. And then it started moving again, and I was fine. I got off, and I was like, okay, that was enough. I can't do it. I can't do another one today. I just cannot. Like, I didn't even see that coming. So I didn't ski again, and then it comes to the last day, and I'm staring at the ski lift literally like all day. And I'm like, I can't leave here without doing this. Like, I have to. And I realized a lot of things. I was like, I'm not scared of the ski lift per se. I'm scared of my symptoms, and I'm scared of feeling my symptoms and being stuck and being trapped on a freaking thing that I can't get away or walk away or move or bounce or whatever I have to do to deal with my symptoms. Like, I don't want to experience that. But then I said to myself, like, Angie, your life is on the other side of this. You know what I mean? Like, if you stay scared and you stay scared of your symptoms, you don't get to live life. And this is something you really want to do. And the most amazing thing happened. All the guys that I was there with, they said, Angie, I was basically saying, I don't think I'm going to go up. I want to, but I just can't cross this bridge. And all of them said, what if we go with you? And I was like, what? I was completely blown away. And at that point, there was no way I could say no. So they all got on the ski lift with me, and we all went to the top, and we all skied down together. And the weird part is, I was a natural skier. And like, by the end of the day, I had skied 16 times after that. That means I was on the ski lift 16 times. And at the very end, I was jumping off of the little jumps. Like, they had a little park with a bunch of jumps. And I was literally jumping and then saying, can we go again? Can we go again? Can we go again? And the more I did it, the more my brain said, you're fine. And I had zero panic. I was looking down. I was looking at the skiers. Completely self-regulated. No panic, no breathing, no dizziness, no nothing. I mean, my eyes are still a little off, but like, I was enjoying the moment. I was living. I was completely blown away. I had no idea that was going to happen. And when I got in the car, I was so like proud of myself. I like didn't want to leave. I was like, you just stepped into your new life. Like, I saw clearly, like, how do I say this? Who I want to be is over here, and who I am now is here. And I have to cross a bridge to get there. But if I stay here, it's comfortable. Over here, it's scary. But I'm not willing to stay scared anymore. Like, I want to live a life, and God damn it, I have fucking earned it. Excuse my language if that offends you. And so just like I fought to stay alive through this experience, I'm fighting to like get my life back and live the most epic life that has ever been lived, ever. And I want to die sliding into home base, you know, like with my shoes falling off and my clothes ripped and dirt all over my face. Like, that's how I want to live, because I didn't get the chance to live like a true life for 20 years altogether. Now we're sitting here, you know, 20 years. So ever since then, and that was in March, I have been hiking more. I've been working out vigorously. I just did like a 40-minute work. That's why my hair is wet, because I just took a shower. I did a 40-minute workout with weights. I feel fine. I did a 9-mile hike the other day. I did 8 miles a couple days before that. I did 3 miles today, 3.5 miles today, plus a 40-minute workout. I did the hot tub last night. I did sauna a couple days ago. I've been wanting to, like, getting dressed up and not dressing like I'm homeless every day, and like washing my body and taking a shower and taking care of myself and caring about my appearance and brushing my teeth more and eating better, and like all these things are just like falling into place. And I think for the first time in a long time, like, I have felt like I want to be here, and I'm actually enjoying it. And so yes, I still have little symptoms, but they're like off in the wayside. I don't really focus on them. I ignore them. I'm definitely still like a little emotionally sensitive. Like, I feel like very hurt by things, or very sensitive to people, the way they treat me, or, you know, if somebody in the elevator gives you a dirty look, I'm like, I get like upset about it. You know what I mean? But I also think that's part of our times. Like, social media makes you like that almost, and then coronavirus on top of it, and politics. And then the last thing is like the people that I've been working with and the coaching capacity, they are freaking amazing, and I just am like overwhelmed by the human spirit and the ability to like cope with the things that we've gone through, and to like to feel better and to heal from all these things, and to build a new life, and to watch these people building a new life. It's like, it's blown me away, and it's so gratifying and rewarding. And it's almost like, even if I get a new person that calls and wants to do a coaching session, and they're really down in the dumps, and they tell me all their symptoms, and they tell me what they've been through, it's almost like I smile on the inside, because like, I know what's on the other end, that like, you're not going to feel like this. Like, I'm just happy for you. And they're like, what do you mean happy for me? I'm like, you have no idea what's about to come. Like, you're 2 years off. you're right about to round that corner. Like, I don't know when. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month, but like the worst of the worst is probably over for you. And so I guess I would just say that to all of you guys too, that just trust in that human spirit that you have, because like that part of you that like was not hurt is the real thing, and it will get you through to the end. And then just trust your brain and your body that it does heal. Like, I could not, literally a year ago, I could only walk a mile. For example, there's this hike that I want to do. It's only 3.5 miles, and it's in Oregon. I'm in Oregon now. And when I looked at it, I said, oh my God, I can't walk 3.5 miles. And I passed it up. And I remember reading the description and being terrified of it. Like, I felt fear. Like, nope, I can't do that. And that was just a year ago. I was just here last summer. And so this summer, I'm like, I could do it twice. I could do twice, like 2 laps, 2 3.5 mile laps, and I'd be totally fine with it. I'd pack a lunch and just sit up there with my dog and chill. And like, it would be totally fine with me. So things can change very fast. You can have it really bad for a while, and then life just opens up. I also think that because I got rid of the stress that I was feeling, and like time passed from the amount of stress that I had and leaving that job and like just doing something new that I wanted to do, that I wanted to focus on, that really helped me too. So get rid of the unnecessary stress. It's totally not worth it. If you can. I know some people, like my dog was dying. I couldn't get away from the stress. You know what I mean? I had to live through it. But anyway, that's my message. I'm sorry for such a long video. But I guess the last thing, wait, one more, is that I'm still living in a camper van, just so that you know, for the last 2.5 years. So basically from when I was 4 years off to 6.5 years off, I have traveled to 36 states, I think 16 national parks. I've done about 75,000 miles. Every night I have to decide where I'm going to sleep. I have to have all the logistics, like when am I going to get groceries? When am I going to dump my tanks? Where am I going to get water? I have to look at maps. I have to cross bridges, be in places that I'm not familiar with. People, I don't know anyone in certain, like Bend, Oregon, I don't know a soul. And then I just roll with it. You know what I mean? I actually like the anonymity of feeling like nobody knows me out here on the road. You guys know me on Facebook and on YouTube and in our community, but like, people don't know me. They don't know what happened to me. They don't know my story. They don't know that I have a brain injury from drugs, you know, that I took as prescribed. So I enjoy it. I love it. I don't want to ever live in a house. Honest to God, just being in this hotel room, I'm like, there's no sunlight. There's no fresh air. Like, how do people live in a house all the time? I can't. I'm claustrophobic. Like, I want to go sit outside all day. I don't care if it's cold or not. So I've fully adjusted to this way of life. There's no going in a house anytime soon. I think it's absolutely helped my healing to be out in the world and doing things to help my brain heal. Nature has helped so much. Just like the speed of nature is just so much slower than Walmart. So anyway, my wish for you is to know that your spirit and your body's ability to heal will take you the rest of the way wherever you're at now in your journey, and just hang in there. Things change very quickly sometimes. I feel so much better. I definitely still have a lot of symptoms. I definitely feel like I have post-traumatic stress, or whatever you want to call it, from that experience of coming off that drug and not having doctors believe me, and not having family support or people that that cared about me could understand how bad I was suffering. And really, would I want them to know how bad it was? Probably not. It was really, really, really bad. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch my earlier videos. Anyway, be well. See you soon.